Okay. Fortunately, we have this Monday followed the Sunday to give us a little break from the trip that we had, and so I know to everybody in the world this is probably a Thursday or whatever. This is not a Thursday to us. We're on Wednesday schedule, and we're getting ready to go. We have an opponent coming up that really have a great respect for, and what Sean's done with this team over the years, and how they played, and how they're playing now. It's a little different format with the career quarterback leaving the program, and they've turned it, and they're like they've always done. They've always used their people really well, and that's what they're doing, and you can see it. And so their style's a little bit different because it's tailored to the players that they have, but they've got a chance to have a really good team again, and they know that, and really for them, it starts on the defensive side. They got a terrific defense, and they're doing a great job again and make it really hard on you. So it's going to be a tough opponent in all aspects. We might get a little weather in this game, might be a little nasty out, be a good hardball ball game, and we need this one.
When they played without Drew Brees for an extended stretch a couple of years ago, what did you take away from the way that they played and that they managed without him?
Sean, he understands how to do it. He gets it. He doesn't try to do something that somebody can't do. And that's why I say they have always featured players in what they do well. And so if he doesn't have his career quarterback, then he's going to adjust a little bit. And that's what they did then. And Taysom did some good stuff for him, and they figured out a way to continue to be successful. And you can count on them to do that.
Played against Jameis Winston when he was in Tampa Bay. How different does he look in this offense, and now having 2 years with Sean Payton to tutor him?
Yeah, well, he's the QB rating we got is 108, and in a compliment to the running game that they're really featuring. He's playing really well. He's making some huge plays, and they're using his ability to get the ball down the field really well in complement with the run game, and he's fitting in well. It's not exactly the same as when it was with Drew, but Sean is such a good ball coach that he figures it out how to make the guys come to life and get the most out of them. So that's what it looks like is happening.
Where is the point that you could attack that offense? Because they're not really going for the explosive plays. They're not throwing it as much. Where is that point for your defense?
Yeah, honestly, I don't see it that way. They're really running the football, but they are going for explosive plays, and that they've hit some bombs. They've bombed people, and they've been striking from a long ways out. They're just not doing it as much, and not relying on moving the ball in that fashion. And so it's a good, solid offense. It's difficult and explosive still. So, and whenever Alvin Kamara's back there, you have a team almost. He does so much for their offense in the run game, but in the throwing game as well. And so he's the focal point, in as he was before. When Drew was there, but Alvin really gives them a lot of stuff, and he's a fantastic player.
He is getting the heaviest workload of his career so far. How do you minimize his impact on the game?
You got to tackle him. You got to tackle him. He's really elusive, quickness-wise, but he's even maybe more impressive in his power that he has when he runs. He's got great legs and great ability to bust tackles, and you have to be really good at it, and you got to team tackle him to get him down. And he's getting the football all the time, so that that's where it's going. And so the challenge is really obvious. You got to slow him down.
What's the challenge of their run defense?
They're really disciplined. They're really strict with how they play. They multiple fronts to try to keep you off balance. But fundamentally, they're really good. And the guys up front just continue to set the edge and play really consistent ball, which is always the key to good run defense, is playing really consistent technique, and they're really good at it. They're really well coached, and they're hard to deal with.
Wide receiving core for the Saints has suffered a lot of injuries, but yet they are still getting back, making progress. Who is making the plays for them?
Well, it just depends. They've got guys. Deontay Harris has been really exciting player for them, and he's their returner as well, dual returner also. He caught a bomb last week, and Callaway's done a nice job for him. Juwan's doing a nice job at tight end too, as a receiver, and with Troutman. Both those guys get stuff done. But it goes back to Alvin Kamara. He's got the ball in a variety of ways. You guys might remember back when Sean got Reggie Bush. Reggie caught 100 passes in his rookie year or second year, whenever that was, just moving him all over the place and making him a total threat as you try to defend him. Well, that's, they have all of that in their background. Sean hasn't forgotten to play, so he's got a wide variety of things that they go to and to mix it around to make all those guys, they're not leaning on one player, it's the whole crew that's effective, so really good.
How is Alex Collins?
He's in practice today, so that's a good sign. He went through walkthrough today, looked okay. Really, a number of guys that got banged a little bit in the game were able to go to walkthrough today, and we'll see what we can get in limited fashion from them from practice today. But really encouraging in that regard.
Damian Lewis too?
Yes.
Any update
Yeah,
on that?
now, let me say this. All these guys got to go see what happens when they practice and see how it feels and all that, afterwards. So, but really positive signs. Daryl Taylor won't get much action today, but he feels really good. He's got a stiff neck, is what he came out with. So it's like, after all of that we went through to protect him and all, it's like he slept bad on his neck, and he's got a stiff neck. So he really feels like he's playing. He doesn't have any doubt that he can play. So we'll hold out hope that that's the case.
How's Sidney Jones doing?
He's going to get a little bit of work today. Yeah, he's bouncing back a little bit ahead of schedule from what they thought, and so he'll get some snaps today in practice, and we'll see what that means.
So what does that mean for your cornerbacks? And given what you saw from Trey Brown, how many options do you have on Monday?
Well, Trey's going to get a lot of reps with Sidney, being a little slowed down, and I feel very comfortable about him playing, and so he's going to play in the game for sure.
Coach, your defense made some good stops against Pittsburgh. Is that because you've changed things a little bit, or they're starting to pick up what you thought they would as they progress here?
I think we're picking up in general. I think just in general. There were some crucial stops in that game. You're right. Late in the game when we had to have it, the guys came through like you're counting on and hoping. The guys are feeling comfortable with what's asked of them, and we're helping them a little bit. We did continue to adapt to things that are showing. So I just think we're just getting better.
Piggybacking off what you said about Bill Lawson, emphasis on helping the quarterback function at a high level. What you got with Geno, beyond perhaps running the ball well and obviously playing defense well, in what ways can you help Geno function at a high level?
Yeah, well, the ways that the most general way to say is you give him stuff that he's good at and stuff that he's had a lot of turns at, a lot of reps. You don't ask him to do brand new things every week. You give him where he can bank on his backlog of preparation, and so that they can function at a high level, and you out execute in that manner. That's always been the way, and so where you might. A coach can try to get real creative and draw this up and draw that up. That's not what a guy's probably going to function really well doing. You want stuff that you can keep coming back to, that's really solid and sound, that he can function at a high level regardless of what he's seeing, and he has the right answers for the problems. And so it really gets back to things that they can execute really well and can be held accountable for it, understand. Doesn't matter what coverage it is or what the situation is, they can function with it, and that's what you're trying to create. And you got to do one thing well, and then you do two things well. And what Coach said was, the more things you can do well, the harder you are to defend. And that's so, it just depends how far we get, but that's what you're trying to accomplish.
In that context, was the Steelers game important info gathering to see in a full game what Geno is good at and what he's not so good at?
Yeah, it's great to get him out there. We finally get a chance to really see him have to go in and back out and answer the problems and adjust during the game and utilize the package and utilize the tempos and all of that. It was a great opportunity for us. And the way we worked it, he was ready to finish this game with a win. Here we go. We're going to go finish with the last drive and win the football game. So a lot of that worked out well. Just unfortunately we lose the ball, but it helps us moving forward for sure.
You claim Jacob Eason off waivers. Where can he fit into things right now?
We're just going to see. He's a very talented player. We had thought that a long time ago, and here he is available to us. We thought we had a spot on the roster that we could do it, so we jumped on it. And I happened to watch him a lot in preseason, just because I was watching the Colts, and he was impressive. He wasn't the top player in the country for no reason. He's a real talent. So we'll see what happens. I don't know how that fits together right now. We're not going to try to rush him into playing this weekend, and Geno's our quarterback, but we'll see what happens. See how it goes. So really, it's us taking a shot at a competitive opportunity and going for it. And I thought John did a great job in getting that done.
Has Jamal Adams conveyed to you what he thinks needs to happen for him to deliver plays like he did last year?
We talk all the time. The answer to your question is no. No. We talk all the time, so we're on the same page.
Do you sense any frustration or pressing with him?
I don't think any more than any other player. You know, I mean, he's a tightly wound, high-strung guy. You know, and he wants things to happen, and he wants to make it happen. And you know, he's just as disappointed when the thing doesn't happen the way it's supposed to, or we want it to, as anybody else is. And he's going to do everything he can in his power to make it work. He's a great competitor. He's truly a great competitor. It really matters to him how you do things, and how he does his stuff, and how he can be held accountable for the club and all that. He's got his head in the right place.
You guys obviously asked him to rush more the other day. Is he getting close? Is it looking how you want it to look for the most part?
Well, we got to get him free. We got to get him in there where he gets some shots. You know, he didn't get any. I mean, he made the quarterback rush a few times, and they know they know he's out there, and that's part of the factor. You know, they also know he's out there. You know, so they're looking for him too, which is fine.
When you had him on the line of scrimmage early in the game, what did you notice that was different or helpful as opposed to when he was playing in the back?
It's just another part of the game that he can, yeah, I think he can, do well. He can bring it off the edge. And if the tackle doesn't make the right step, or the back doesn't, hit it right, he's so fast and sudden that he can make a problem for you. When you only get 4 or 5 of them, it's not. It takes some ops, and he needs more of them. But he's accumulating them. It'll come.
Is there more hesitation on your part to ask him to do that this year at all, or what is?
No, other than reporting late. That we both know, Jamal and I both know that it just slowed down the process, because we just had to get him ready in the 2 weeks, and so that was just natural part of that, the way that unfolded, and so we're no longer in that mode now. We're in full mode. He's ready to do whatever we can think of, and he's excited to do that.
How do you assess his coverage this season?
Well, I think he's had he's had a couple plays that stand out. Almost the back-to-back plays a couple weeks ago, when we really had the deep ball that was underthrown to I think it was Cooper, wasn't it? Cooper Kupp. Yeah, that was a play that you'd like to make, and but came right back in the Cardinals game the next week, and it happened to them too. Same thing, underthrow, DBs get lost on the ball, and a guy makes a catch, and that can happen sometimes. But I think it's what's best for him is to do everything. I give him everything to do, and give him lots of chances, lots of different spots that he can play in, and to be the factor that he's capable of being.
You guys ran a lot more of the 4-3 over fronts last week instead of the odd fronts. So my question is, how much of that was just the opponent preparing for what they were going to do, or getting Jamal involved more off the edge?
You didn't want me to answer that question, really, did you? I don't want to say all that stuff. I mean, it's game planning, we were game planning, and so you'll have to wait and see what we do next. Sorry.
Is the neat thing that limited Alton's snaps against the Rams still bothering you?
No, yeah, he got out of the rotation just because it happened. He should have played more last week.
If Alex is fine and you get Rashad back, how do you sort that out, I guess, with those two?
Really well. Yeah, really well. I'm going to really sort that one out. I'm really excited to get Rashad on the field and playing for us. He's gunning to go. He's ready. This is the right time for him to come roaring back, and I'm hoping that he'll have a chance to be a big factor in the game. And Alex is playing great football. Alex was able to practice today. Competition is a beautiful thing, and so you'll see how we do it. I got to get through the week and find out. And Rashad hasn't practiced in a long time, so I got to see how he looks. But I know he's physically fit. He has not been practicing just rehabbing, working out to rehab. He's been working out to be in great shape and ready for the moment we can bring him back. So we've talked specifically about that throughout the return time and the return opportunity, and he's ready to go. So, but you got to go do it. That doesn't mean anything, but what you say, you got to go do it.
Cam Jordan statistically ranks up there with Aaron Donald and with T.J. Watt. How disruptive can he be?
He's really good. He's really good. He's so technique sound, and he plays so hard, and he has great play strength. He's a big challenge for us, and as he is for everybody. Didn't have the sacks to back that up, right now, but that's not. That doesn't matter. He's really a factor in the game, and you got to be ready for him.
We're probably not doing our job if we don't ask about Russell and where he is in his rehab. Do you have any more update or ETA?
You said you guys weren't doing your job. You guys are doing fine. Yeah, Russ is making progress. He's definitely making progress. He's very positive in all of that, and I know he's, it's hard on him. It's hard. He wants to be out there so bad, and so he's going to continue to really condition hard and push himself physically and mentally, so that he's not losing anything other than the ability to throw it. And I mean, it's really admirable the way he's going about it. He's doing it exactly the best way you can possibly do it, and we'll keep our fingers crossed for good results.
Any clarity on the timeline?
Next. No, really, there's no. We're not calling it. We're gonna wait and see.
How realistic is it that the minimum 3 games is all he misses?
I don't know. We don't know that. And the doctors can't tell you that, and Russ can't tell you that. And, so we just gotta wait and see.
Obviously, a lot has been written over the years about your standards at cornerback, the measurables, and all that. Has your thinking evolved in that? I mean, we can obviously see it out there. Are you maybe?
I'll just remind you that when I was at the Jets, we drafted Aaron Glenn. Okay, so it's the player, it's the style and how he plays the game, and yeah, there's a preference. When I ran into Perry Williams a million years ago at NC State, I had Perry Williams, who was 6'2", and Donnie LeGrand was about 5'8", and those were our two corners, and we were pressing back in the day, and that was the first time I really started recognizing what it meant to have the long arms and the length and the great speed and all of that, and those guys will be so happy I brought their name up, but. So it's just like I think you got to be open to all the guys and see what you get. And we've shot hard to find long, tall, fast guys, and Sherm was a great example of that. Sherm he was a receiver, just played a little bit of DB, but he had all of that kind of stuff. And so, and he kind of, and with Brandon Browner too, those two guys playing together really set the thing in motion, we love the long guys, but you can't always find them, and so Brandon was uniquely talented, and so was Sherm, and they're totally different, even though they're both tall and all that, so it just depends. But, it's good that you can be so consistently committed to something that people think that that's all you are, that's not a bad thing, because you show that you got some belief in something.
Are you maybe more comfortable now than you were in the past, though, potentially starting 5'9" guy and 5'10" guy on the field at the same time?
Well, I know how I'd like it to be, because I think it's harder on the offense. But the players themselves can play right. Look what DJ's doing. DJ's playing great football for us. He needed to go back to the other side. That kind of got messed up a little bit there, and making opportunities for guys. He's better on the right side over there, and he's showed it. He's involved with everything that's coming his way, and so we've improved. We've gotten better there, and. So, am I more comfortable with playing? That's really kind of what you want to know. I'm fine with it. Just the guys themselves, how they do it.
Matt Hasselbeck's going in the Ring of Honor. What was your year with him like?
Thanks for bringing that up. Yeah, I'm really proud for Matt. We had a blast. He was really one of the reasons why I thought coming here was a good idea. Because we had an established quarterback that had played the game and been in championship games and all that. And so. And we hit it right. I thought we had a really good start to it, and we didn't win all our games or anything like that, but we did some great stuff and started a relationship I'm really proud of. I think he's a great guy, and I love his family and the whole thing, and I'm really, really proud for him. Really proud for him and excited for him. It's a great honor.
How unique is Alvin Kamara's balance and core strength that he has for a guy that's built like he is?
Yeah, he's remarkably powerful, and it's really in his in his kind of his core and in his thighs and all that. He's just got great strength. I don't know if you've seen any of the videos where he's standing on one of those balls and he's doing, he's squatting and doing all kinds of stuff. I mean, the balance that it takes to do that and the strength and the power that it takes to do that is amazing.
Anything else? Oh, one more thing.
Yeah.
What did you think of the protection on Sunday?
We weren't as consistent for the amount of throws. We should have been better. And there was a number. It wasn't just the protection. It was getting the ball out. It was a couple of things. We weren't quite as sharp as we needed to be to not let that happen when they got after us pretty good. So it could be better. It's right there to be better, and we have to work together. That's the QB. That's working with the O-line, and that's also the receivers helping us out when their opportunity gets there. So we'll be better there.
Thank you.
That's it.